is CTV News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The Windsor Spitfires getting started in the Western Conference Finals tonight, opening up the series in Kitchener against the Rangers, hoping to avoid the outcome they've seen the past 2 years against the team, that is. CTV's Robert Lothian has been following the game. Robert, not the outcome Spits fans were hoping for, but the series is just getting started.
Yeah, Travis, the Spitfires dealt a big 4-3 loss tonight, which might have some fans feeling a sense of deja vu. The Spitfires and Rangers have matched up in the postseason 3 times in the last 4 years, Kitchener winning the last 2 matchups. So heading into Game 1, Windsor was eager to put the past behind them and start this series in the win column.
Now for Villian will get it to the point. Thought about the one-timer there was Robinson. And there's the one-time pass. They shot score right on the doorstep. It's Anthony Cristoforo. And moments into Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, the Spitfires draw first blood.
Spitfires defenseman turned forward. Anthony Cristoforo burying a rebound to open the game. That goal coming just 47 seconds into the opening frame. Cristoforo finding the back of the net now in his 3rd consecutive game. The early score didn't hold up for long. These 2 teams going back and forth, trading the lead until the score was all tied up at 3. And with no winner after 3 periods, this game went to overtime.
Rangers win the faceoff. As Reed here for Humphreys. Humphreys shot.
A frustrating overtime loss in Game 1 off that goal by Rangers centerman Sam O'Reilly. The Spits taking a late high-sticking penalty to set up the power play marker. Now, despite the result, Windsor putting up a hard-fought first contest to open the Western Conference Finals. In between the pipes, Joey Costanzo making 26 saves to give the Spitfires a chance. Now, the fight is far from over. These 2 teams will hit the ice again in Kitchener for Game 2, and that's on Sunday. And then the series turns to Windsor, where Spitfires fans, will have a chance to cheer on their team at home. That is Game 3 at 7:05 Monday night at the WFCU Center. And if Game 1 is any sign of what's to come, Travis, this should be a pretty entertaining series.
Thank you, Robert. That's CTV's Robert Lothian following the Spitfires for us tonight. In the county, strike pressure is building as talks between Essex Windsor EMS and its paramedics stall. Conciliation talks have broken off with no deal after what the union calls months of little progress. This follows a 100% strike vote and recent Code Black incidents where no ambulances were available. The union, representing about 340 paramedics, says staffing shortages are leaving trucks uncrewed and forcing long hours on the front lines. They warn the system is already under serious strain, and as both sides prepare to return to the table May 8th.
So paramedics are discouraged right now. We were hopeful that the 2 sides would come to an agreement with the presence of that conciliator. The fact that we haven't yet been able to reach a deal simply means that we press forward. Now, we're not sure what that looks like quite yet. Talks have broken down, but we're putting our faith in County Council and our administration that they'll come to the table and reach a settlement.
The County of Essex says it has no comment, citing the ongoing bargaining process. If job action does happen, the level of service would be set by the Ontario Labour Relations Board, with past strikes seeing ambulance coverage reduced by as much as 40%, shifting more emergency calls to police and fire. In Tecumseh, OPP are investigating a sudden death on Chernobyl Crescent. Police were called Thursday around 5:30 to assist emergency crews. Few details have been released, as officers say it's still early in the process. Residents can expect an increased police presence in the area, but investigators say there is no threat to public safety. It's been 2 weeks since a 20-year-old man was shot and killed outside a Lambton College pub in Sarnia, with the prime suspect still on the run. As CTV's Brian Bicknell reports, the search is intensifying.
With a Canada-wide warrant out for his arrest, CTV News public safety analyst Chris Lewis says he believes it's just a matter of time before police catch up with accused killer Kiao Chin-do. That is, if he doesn't turn himself in before. If he resists, it could spell his demise.
At this point, police are looking for an alleged killer. And when the time comes that some law enforcement officer stops him somewhere, finds him just by happenstance, or a tactical team goes in on him because they know where he is, either way, his options are put up your hands, cooperate, get down to the floor when they tell him to, or be prepared to be killed.
The latest photos released of 24-year-old Doe highlight visible tattoos, a tiger wearing a crown, a dagger through the heart under the eye, a broken heart with angel wings on fire, and a small cross under the eye.
He'll be fairly easy to identify, I believe.
Doe is charged with second-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and a firearms offense after a shooting outside the Lion's Den pub on the Lambton College campus April 10th. 20-year-old Dane Nisbet of Sarnia died in hospital, while 2 of his friends suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Also charged with second-degree murder is 23-year-old Odom Richard Bunn of London, who remains in custody, while 2 Sarnia residents are charged with various offenses, including accessory after the fact. Doe's last known address is Booley Street in London, and Sarnia police have already been here canvassing the area a number of times, searching for clues to help locate him. Legal experts say anyone found to be harboring the suspect could themselves face serious consequences.
Somebody could be facing a significant time in prison for just assisting.
Legal analyst, criminal lawyer Jim Dean says if he were Doe's counsel, his advice would be turn yourself in.
Someone who has a defense, has more to the story, would turn themselves in, would then go through the process. It'll certainly impact him on bail, because the Crown, I expect, would put forth a position that he is a flight risk.
Call a lawyer. You can tell your side of the story at that time. In the meantime, the police have a warrant for your arrest. So the best thing to do, turn yourself in, put your hands up and let it happen.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
In a Windsor courtroom today, an unexpected guilty plea from a man who was granted a new trial for murder. As CTV's Michelle Molesky reports, John Wayne Pierre can now apply for parole sooner.
John Wayne Pierre pleaded guilty Friday to second-degree murder.
That's an amazing demonstration of remorse. I don't think anyone should cynically look at what happened here.
Because defense lawyer Ken Marley says his client was owed a second trial. 42-year-old Leslie Waterworth was killed in November 2016 by Pierre in a jealous rage fueled by alcohol. He pleaded not guilty in 2018 and went to trial in front of a jury.
He was a different person then. We thought, very compelling evidence that this was manslaughter, not murder. And so that's why we approached that trial in that way.
The jury convicted Pierre and he was sent to prison with no chance of parole until 2031 at the earliest. Pierre successfully appealed the conviction and sentence and was due to be retried. So it was unusual Friday when Pierre pleaded guilty instead of recalling evidence that is 10 years old. The Crown concedes witnesses' memories fade. Some witnesses may no longer be available at all, and the reliability and completeness of the evidence can be affected in ways no one can fully control.
I'm not saying that it would have resulted in the Crown offering no evidence, but it could have. And then what would people say then, right? Mr. Pierre avoided that result by doing what I consider to be the honorable thing.
Waterworth's brother Brian told CTV News Friday in a statement they are disappointed in how the justice system has handled parts of this process. It has been a long and painful journey, and at times it has felt like our family has had to carry more than we should. Justice Bruce Thomas described Waterworth's murder as, quote, a brutal domestic homicide. But Pierre's plea, he said, was meaningful in sparing the family another trial, saving court time, and taking full responsibility for what he did a decade ago. Pierre was sentenced to life in prison, but his parole ineligibility was dropped down to 10 years, meaning he can apply for parole this November.
It's completely up to the Parole Board of Canada.
At Superior Court, Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
The City of Windsor today unveiling plans for a proposed development that's already drawing strong reaction. CTV's Chris Campbell has a first look at condo plans near Roseland Golf Course.
Renderings show a 4-story building with 48 units overlooking the Roseland golf course, part of the city's push to increase housing supply. Mayor Drew Dilkin says the $33.5 million project still has to go through public consultation, including an open house next week before heading to council.
It still has to go through a public open house, then it goes to committee, then it goes to city council, and so that process on the public open house will happen April the 30th at the Capri Center. So that process still has lots of public touch points.
The city says units could range from the mid-$400,000 range to more than $1 million, aimed largely at homeowners looking to downsize.
I used to sit around and draw a map with Roseland, and I actually circled the shorty course and said this would be a great spot for a condo. And then the RFP came out, and it was like they wanted to build it on the clubhouse lands, and we jumped on it, and here we are today.
Developer Peter Valente says demand for the historic golf course condos is already there.
I know that there's a lot of older people that want to move up to a condo. There hasn't been a new condo built in South Windsor in quite some time.
But noticeably absent from today's announcement was Ward 1 Councillor Fred Francis, who opposes the project and represents the Roseland neighborhood.
I'm not attending because I don't support the project. I just don't think it's a good development.
He says he has concerns about transparency and how the land is being developed.
When you're dealing with public land, and especially public heritage land, and when you're dealing with Roseland, public heritage land that hasn't been disrupted in 100 years, I think you have to be as open and transparent and allow the public as part of that process as much as possible.
Some nearby residents also raising concerns, including the loss of community space and whether condos are the best use for the property.
It's sad to see a community center being torn down because in the wintertime we had this place as a convenient place for seniors.
Others questioning whether more public amenities should be considered for this space.
There's no reason why they couldn't put a library in here or put public space in here so that would be available to the public.
Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Learning how to manage money will soon be a mandatory part of Ontario's high school curriculum. Starting this fall, students in grade 10 will have to pass a financial literacy test in order to graduate. CTV's Tyler Fleming has the details.
For 17-year-old Noah Bertrand, money already matters.
You're starting to actually have expenses and things you have to pay for.
He works part-time and plans to study commerce and says learning the basics should be mandatory in high school.
The sort of transition between high school and the sort of real world, knowing a lot of that stuff about taxes and interest is very important.
Right now, learning about financial literacy is optional, but starting in September, students will need to pass a test in grade 10, scoring at least 70% to graduate.
I think it's a great idea.
The province says it's about balancing the books early, teaching teens how to budget, save, invest, and avoid scams. Parent Gaetan Purdy says it's long overdue.
When I was in high school, they did not teach that, so I think this program will help the kids help what we did our day-to-day lives financially.
The latest data from Statistics Canada shows younger Canadians carry nearly $1.70 owed for every dollar earned. Debts tied to school loans, credit cards, and car payments.
When you have knowledge about how your finances work, you can put guardrails in and say, okay, if things start going sideways, what do I do?
Money touches every part of life, and experts say learning discipline early is a skill young adults can take to the bank.
Then they'll be able to say no to a lot of these things because you're exposed to it 24/7 now with your phones, which is good for merchandisers, not so good for consumers. So you have to know how to say no. And I think that's a big thing too with the literacy is knowing what your limitations are.
Yeah, I've got a bit of like money put away, RESPs and all that.
For Bertrand, the calculation is simple. Understanding money now can pay out down the road. Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time.
I feel a lot of excitement. I feel a lot of Canadian pride.
And still ahead, a lifelong dream set to launch later this year. Meet another Canadian astronaut heading to space. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is here with our first look at the weather tonight. And Gary, we've got a little bit of rain on the way.
Yes, rain on the way. We've seen some rain earlier this evening. There's a projection of maybe continued thunderstorm activity at least until midnight, 1 a.m. I think it will be mostly showers at this point as we head into early Saturday morning. The morning and early afternoon was pleasant in southwestern Ontario. Reached a high of almost 23 degrees. Our average high is 15 as of today. And this advancing cold front, we replay what took place earlier this afternoon towards the evening. You can see the influx, right? Trigger along this boundary, working its way, cold front sweep. Ahead of it's the warm, soupy air that rises and essentially converts into active weather, clouds bearing showers and thunderstorm activity. So that's what we've been dealing with. It continues tonight into tomorrow morning. And I think the post-frontal, the disturbance, that unsettled air in behind the initial front, will likely produce showers at least until 4 or 5 a.m. and then it'll just be cloudy, overcast through the midday. The afternoon, cloudy, but drier. I don't think Saturday's a complete washout, so you can plan to be outdoors in the middle to late afternoon. So we are looking at steady rains, mostly Leamington, Pelee Island, Amherstburg, our friends along the northwestern shores of Lake Erie, certainly getting into it. Kingsville could see about 20 millimeters. So anywhere from 20 on up is moderate, if not quite a bit. The overnight temperature, a mild 10 degrees Celsius. Our average low pre-dawn at this time of the year is closer to 5 degrees Celsius. So cloudy with showers, especially between midnight and about 3, 4 a.m. By 8 a.m., we're still looking at a 40% chance of showers Saturday morning. A high of about 14 will be reached under cloudy conditions in the afternoon. Again, our high, or average, is 15. So it's a seasonal day tomorrow, just a wet one to start. Things look a lot better for the first day of the week, which is technically Sunday. Of course, sunny and warm, and getting warmer. Monday, continuance of that sunshine, up to 21. So 14, 18, 21, and then things drop off. 17, 18, 14, 11. We're going to see some rain through the middle of next week, Tuesday into Wednesday morning, and then cooler and cloudier Thursday and Friday, 14 and 11. Look at it. Up and down we go, the continuation of this roller coaster ride of temperatures into next week. That's a look at your weather.
Thank you, Gary. The federal government has approved a $4 billion expansion of Enbridge's pipeline system on British Columbia's west coast. The company says the natural gas project is shovel-ready, and the Liberals are touting it as another big project approval. CTV's Rachel Aiello has more.
Today, Enbridge's $4 billion BC natural gas pipeline expansion got the green light, adding capacity and fortifying a West Coast liquefied natural gas project.
This expansion ensures British Columbia has enough gas to supply an LNG export facility like Woodfibre LNG, which will be the first net zero LNG export facility in the world.
The project will add approximately 140 kilometers of new pipeline by constructing 11 pipeline looping segments parallel to the existing line.
Well, it's pretty small, relatively speaking. So 300 million cubic feet a day is, in the context of what we do in Western Canada, is probably 16 or 18 billion cubic feet a day of gas production right now.
Construction will begin this summer. And the government says the expansion is set to add more than $3 billion to Canada's GDP, generate more than $700 million in tax revenue, and create 2,500 jobs, including for local Indigenous communities.
I think this comes at an important time. There's a lot of economic uncertainty in the world, and Canada's economy needs these kinds of jobs.
In a statement, Enbridge's CEO said, "We're excited about the role this project will play in increasing economic prosperity and energy security." But critics say this expansion took far too long to approve, given the Liberals' promise of record speed, and that in the future, major projects need to start moving way faster.
There have been lots of announcements, lots of press releases, lots of news coverage about bureaucratic busy work, but not a lot of results.
Canada's energy regulator greenlit the project with 47 binding conditions related to environmental protection, safety, and Indigenous engagement. It's expected to be operational by 2028. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Gas is set to go up 5 cents overnight tonight after already going up 5 today. That'll put regular at an average $1.77.9 across Windsor. One gas station in New Brunswick, however, saw a drop today as CTV's Laura Brown shows us something of a gas sale.
It's an unusual move in this economy, but people are not complaining. So you're impressed by the price?
Yes, very impressed by the price. I was shocked, really.
This locally owned gas station outside Fredericton city limits had its price set just under $1.66 on Friday. Up the road, it was 8 cents more. The station has been doing these gas sales every now and then for the last few months. The owner says he's not a fan of big business and wants to help the little guy.
Give him a break because people can't afford gas. That's the biggest struggling thing in our New Brunswick right now. And what do you think in Canada?
How does he do it? Corey says he makes money from his water and ice business and moves that revenue over to cover the loss at the pumps. How low can you go?
You go low as you want. Last Friday, I went down 19 cents. Did I lose money? I lost major money. But I made money on other things, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it for everybody. Puts a smile on my face.
And these days, smiles are hard to come by at gas stations. Prices went up overnight across the Maritimes, an increase of over 10 cents a litre in the Halifax area. And while some say they've gotten used to it, it doesn't make it any easier.
I'm retired. I'm on a fixed income, and I mean, you could feel it. You could really feel it.
It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it, or I can do about it personally, so pay it or stay home.
But this sale was enough to see a steady flow of motorists stopping in. Customers new and old, very appreciative.
He helps his community. He's got a water business. He's innovative. He's what the province needs here.
Corey claims losing money, but gaining customers is worth it. Laura Brown, CTV News, Island View, New Brunswick.
In Toronto, the TSX lost 9 points today, and in New York, the Dow fell 80, but the Nasdaq gained 398. The Canadian dollar added a modest 0.05 of a cent, and on commodity markets, gold gained almost $17 an ounce, and oil fell $1.45 a barrel. CTV News Windsor has launched a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local news. By signing up, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Turning now to our weekly segment, Get Gardening. Gary teaming up with horticulturalist Sandy McDonald to tell you about a tree you've probably seen your whole life, but may have never noticed.
Sandy McDonald joins me again. Thank you so much for your expertise on a day where we're talking about a tree you introduced me to last year, and it's been around my whole life, apparently. I just didn't realize it. I'm in love with the serviceberry tree. Talk to us about its magnificence.
Me too. Such a great tree. A native tree to Canada as well. We have a number of species across the country, and very hardy, very easy to grow, and an all-season type of plant. Beautiful spring flowers, as we can see today. They last for just a little while, but mid-June, later in June, beautiful, delicious berries. A little bit like blueberries, but I think, in my opinion, even better. And then beautiful fall color as well. Orange to reddish fall color as well. Multi-season, native plant, great for almost anybody's garden. It's so adaptable, and again, being a native plant, many people are very interested in adding more natives to the garden, and the multi-use factor as well. Very few diseases, very few pests, a very hardy plant, so something we should consider for landscape use, park use, very, very useful.
Last question for you. Talk to us about sustainability and robustness through our harsh Canadian winters at times. How does it fare?
Super durable. We have types that are even very, very hardy for the mid-prairies, and it's grown there actually commercially for the fruit as well. And here at Southwestern Ontario, we don't have to worry because we've got fairly moderate weather. We can actually grow a few more species and types here than they might in the prairies, but very good for our climate. No issues here.
Right. Sandy McDonald, thank you. The serviceberry tree, you can make jam, folks. Nice spread on your toast in the morning, right? I'm loving the idea. I'm going to be getting a couple myself. We'll see you next week for another installment of Get Gardening.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is back for one last check of the forecast for the weekend. Gary, it looks like when May starts late next week, it's going to come in a little bit chillier.
I think you're right about that. A good observation, young man. Yes, Travis, we are talking about some cooler temperatures. Tomorrow to begin, by the way, we're still in the rain early, pre-dawn, and things look a bit better towards sunrise, and relatively cloudy and drier towards the late morning, early afternoon. So not a complete washout, but a high probability of rain through the early morning stages when most of us are in bed asleep. Sunny and warming up for Sunday and Monday, 18 and 21. Looks good. Average high at that juncture, about 15.5 degrees. Then cooling off, 17, 18, 14, 11. Mid to upper teens, and then trailing off. The midweek is wet, potentially. And yes, Travis, you are right. May comes in cool and gray. And it might stay that way for just a bit before things warm up again. Wherever you are, enjoy your weekend. And as always, you know what I'm going to say. Enjoy your weather. Good night.
Thank you, Gary. Finally tonight, a Canadian astronaut is set to head to the International Space Station later this year.
I feel a lot of excitement. I feel a lot of Canadian pride. I've personally been preparing specifically for this mission for close to 4 years now. The mission involves leaving Earth for 6 months. So it's a long time, and there's a lot of challenge wrapped up into getting ready for that. Some of it is psychological, just getting ready for the isolation, the time away, the risk management part. A lot of it, of course, is also very technical, learning to operate these systems, the vehicles, the space station itself.
At the end of the day, the United States.
Joshua Kutrick is expected to launch no earlier than mid-September with 3 other crew members. It will be his first space mission, something he's dreamed about since he was 6 years old. That's our time for tonight. We hope to see you back here on Monday. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Have a great weekend.